start reading the scripts.
Bob, let me make sure the recording works.
Let me start the recording. Thank you so much for saying that.
So I'm requesting permission.
Oh, let me do and let me let's see, allowed to record to local 5. Give that a shot.
I just pressed record on this
We're
computer.
good. You're recording. Now that we're recording and we have a backup recording, now I'm going to read the script. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being audio-video recorded. The agenda lists all topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair or the vice chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by open meeting law. Please address all comments to the chair. This meeting of the Conservation Commission is being held by Zoom at the link provided in this notice. The meeting ID, there's a Zoom link. If you go to the town calendar and go to our agenda, there's a clickable Zoom link in the agenda. If you have Zoom, you can open it up, and the meeting ID is 835-0835-8226. I'm Bob Pease. I'm the vice chair. I believe that Mary Wilson, our chair, will not be joining us tonight. She's under the weather. We'll do a roll call. Jenny Putherer.
Here, present.
Thank you. Rich Birch.
Present.
Jeff Viviano.
Present.
Mike LaRouche.
Present.
Chris St. Germain. And Mary's not here. Chris isn't here. Other than that, we're all here. Any public comments from members of the commission? Whoop, I got somebody in the waiting room. 1 second. All right, any public comment from members of the public? We're going to call on Stefan first. Stefan, if you unmute yourself. Stefan, I've called on you and there you go. Stefan, what's your comment?
Hey, Bob. Stefan is the client for Leominster Road. He said he was having technical difficulties with the speaker, but he's also called in. It's the 7557 number.
7557 number. Let's see. I'm not. Yeah, okay.
If you could let him talk with that one instead.
I asked him to unmute, asked that one to unmute also. I mean,
from your phone, you have to press *6, I believe, to mute.
And he's unmuted when he called on his.
Yeah, Mr. Pease, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, Stefan, you gotta mute your computer. I think you're echoing because both are on.
Okay, I apologize. I am having some technical difficulties here. I can see you on my laptop. Unfortunately, the microphone isn't working, so I'm hoping that my phone does work.
So it's your turn to speak. Speak away.
Yes, so my name is Stephen McSweeney. I'm one of the owners of 255 Sunny Hill Road. We were on the I'm calling in because there is no progress that has been made on our case, unfortunately. So if you recall the last hearing on the third 1455 Clean Hill, it was determined by the commission we needed a third-party review of our wetlands flagging that was done by Mary Ann DePinto at Three Oaks Environmental. We agreed to that. And then we followed up on Monday, I believe the 8th, with the name of the three companies that we selected. Unfortunately, since then, there's no progress that has been made by the town conservation. So we had a follow-up within that week. We responded by email.
Stefan, you're breaking up pretty badly. Brian, do you know what Stefan wants to say? Because you're pretty coming in clear.
Yeah, so
Yeah, Brian, feel free to speak here if you can.
I will, yeah, you were breaking up pretty bad, Stefan. So at the last hearing, the commission requested a third-party review of the wetland line by Mary Ann DePinto. And the town was gonna request the third-party review. We all discussed who you guys accepted and who to use. So we provided those contacts. We provided, and Stefan provided an email to Sophia to forward off to the consultants. And from what we understand, it still hasn't been sent. So we've lost another couple of weeks for this, and we really need to keep this going. It's kind of dragging on too long. We thought we were going to be able to have this at least under scope for review with the consultants by this meeting, and it still hasn't been done. So we're pleading with the commission or Sophia or somebody on the commission to get these emails out to those third-party reviewers so we can get this project moved forward.
Thank you, Brian. So Sophia, could you tell us where we're at in requesting the quotes for third-party reviewers?
I received the three suggestions for the third party. And I have yet to get to actually the next step of sending that out to Ecotech.
So Sophia, will I be stepping on your toes if I send them out in your stead?
You won't be stepping on my toes. You'd be
All right, then
doing me a great
I'll,
favor.
I will do that tomorrow.
Bob, if you can hopefully hear me, this is Stefan again. I have your email address here. I'm happy to send that information over to you.
Please do that.
Will do.
Thank you. Stefan, are you done? And Brian?
Well, like I
Yes,
said,
that is all.
because we
Oh, well.
haven't really gotten anywhere with the review, I don't really see a point to discuss our project tonight. So I think it just makes sense to continue.
So, therefore, when we get to 255 Sunny Hill Road, we're going to continue it. If anyone is here with interest to that hearing, know that there'll be no discussion tonight, and we're going to continue, and you don't have to sit through the rest of this meeting. I'm going to call on Nick.
Hi, Bob. Nick Eaton, 441 Townsend Harbor Road. I emailed you guys the other day, and I don't know if anybody's still out of the office. So I'm trying to close up the order of conditions, but on the original order of conditions that Jack did, I was going to take, I think it was like 6 trees down right where the lake is, but I didn't take those down. So he proposed 2 maple trees, but there's already the trees that I was going to take, they're still there.
Okay, and have you discussed this with Sophia?
I honestly don't. I haven't met her yet. No.
Well, I would suggest that you make arrangements to meet with Sophia. It sounds like,
How to raise your hand?
No.
and, uh, make arrangements, to figure
No,
out,
don't.
what you need to do, to, close out that
Yeah,
order of
raise
conditions.
your hand.
Okay, Nick?
Yeah, so as of right now, so I just had everything kind of hydro seed on that side. I'm trying to just see, I guess, what is the steps to this? Do they have to come do like a,
I muted who's ever on iPhone 85 because, you're talking when you don't have the floor. Nick, I don't know what the steps are, and I can't tell you what they are right now. Like I said, I suggest, you reach out to Sophia, and I can tell you that, we're still recovering from a lack of staff. We just have a brand new employee that started, last week, and she's still getting her feet on the ground, Sophia's assistant. And, but I urge you to, reach out to Sophia and, look at your order of conditions and see, what does it say, at the end? Does it say we need an engineer's letter? It's like, so please look at your own order of conditions, see what it says you have to do to close it out, and, reach out to Sophia.
yeah, I guess the main thing, so I'm ready to plant the trees and the bushes,
Yeah,
but there's 2 trees. Again, from what Jack said, that I wouldn't have to plant those because I didn't take the trees down, but I just want
yeah,
to
if you
make
didn't
sure.
take the trees down, then you don't have to plant replacement trees.
Okay.
But the devil's in the details, and so again, we can't adjudicate, we can't, nothing can get settled right now, and so I'm asking you to reach out to Sophia.
Okay,
Thank you, Nick.
thank you.
Now I'm gonna call on iPhone 85 and ask you to unmute.
Hello,
Can you please
Michael-
give your name and address?
Michael Richard, 200 Burridge Street.
Okay,
We just got added to the agenda, and I know Sophia was supposed to go by and take a look. So I'm just wondering if I should wait till the end of the meeting to find out. You guys haven't seen drawings or anything. She's had it for
Sophia,
a while.
Sophia, can you, comment? Are we gonna be ready to, deal with this, certificate of compliance tonight, or should, or will we be better off taking it up at our next meeting?
I was able to get out there and do a site visit, so we should be able to talk about it later on in the meeting. Yep.
Thank you so much,
Oh.
Sophia.
Perfect, thank you.
All righty. If there are no other public comments, either from the commission or from the public, we have, minutes from April 3rd. I believe they were distributed yesterday. I'm looking for a motion, to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, Richard. Do we have a second?
Second, Mike.
Perfect. Roll call vote. Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
and I for myself. Excellent. New public hearings. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended. In the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a public hearing for a notice of intent by Renee Rainville for the proposal of an addition and renovation to an existing single-family home and additions to an impervious driveway within the buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland at Lake Shirley at 57 Round Road. Do we have someone here representing the applicant? Oh, Dan Wolf. Why don't you identify yourself, Dan?
Sure. My name is Dan Wolf. I'm with David Ross Associates, and I'm here tonight with Rennie Rainville, the owner of 57 Round Road. As you described in the introduction, he is proposing a number of interior renovations to this house. Rooms are being rearranged. There's even a section of the second floor that's being removed. And overall, they're also adding an existing garage, which is going to facilitate handicapped accessibility for his family. In addition to the garage, which is outside of the buffer zone,
Brian, Dan,
yes.
Dan, can you share your screen to show the plan, or do we have to do that?
Sophia was going to put that up on the screen if she could.
All right, well, Sophia, can you do that, or do you need me to do that?
I'm gonna do that. One moment, please.
All right, thank you so much. I'd like us to be able to look at the plan, Dan, as you described it.
Actually, I think you're the host, so you've disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, let me fix that. That is my fault. Let's enable screen sharing. Chat, rename themselves, unmute themselves, start video. Oh, okay, let's do that. Security. You should be able to screen share now.
Is that visible? I can try to zoom in. This is not very user-friendly. I had two screens.
All right, that looks good, Sophia. Thank you. As I mentioned, this plan shows the existing house at number 57 Round Road. I started to describe the addition that was being put on, which is a garage as well as connection over to the existing house. That garage structure is completely out of the buffer zone, but we are installing a paved driveway to get to that new garage. And as a result, we're also taking what is a very large driveway on the left side of the property, and we're restoring a lot of that pavement back to lawn area. The amount of impervious area being added to the buffer zone on that new proposed paved driveway is 1,313 square feet. And we're actually restoring in excess of that. We're restoring 1,719 square feet of lawn area. So we've got a decrease of 406 square feet of impervious area. Another thing that's happening in the buffer zone is you can see the bump out in the front of the house, which is the existing entryway, and there's a porch and some steps down to the yard. That is being taken off, and a new entryway is being put in of an equal footprint. That's why it's hard to see what existing and what is proposed, but that is going to be the same size footprint with some steps coming down toward this new driveway right there where the cursor is. Thank you. So that's the extent of the work being done in the buffer zone. As you can see, we've surrounded the work areas with erosion control. And I also took the step of adding another section of erosion control on the back side of the house where the construction is coming close to the 100-foot line, 100-foot buffer zone line of the Lake Shirley, but we are not in the buffer zone. I just wanted to make sure that we had adequate protection there for any erosion or siltation. So the buffer zone, I also want to stress, The buffer zone is generated by the wetland that is across Round Road. So it's at the bottom of the page there. We are not doing any work within the buffer zone of Lake Shirley. So if I can throw it back to you, Mr. Chairman, for any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, so I wish you had said that at the beginning. So we're not looking at the Lake Shirley buffer zone. We're looking at the wetlands on the other side of Round Road buffer
Correct.
zone.
Correct.
And I see a line there at the bottom. It says there's an existing shed, and then below that it says, oh, I see it. That's pointing to the dashed line, long dash line that I get it now.
Okay, yeah, the bold dashed line is the buffer zone, and we labeled that on the bottom of the plan as well. And that runs through the front yard and into a portion of the house. So all the work I described is below that dashed line.
And are you aware that we have a 50-foot no structure and a 30-foot no disturb zone here? Usually we see those drawn on the plans when they're presented to us.
Okay, I can certainly add that if you need it. The only place that work would intercept with the 30-foot no disturb might be just to restore the pavement that was removed to the left of the existing driveway.
So when you say restore, you mean restore to like a lawn or something like that?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Any comments or questions from commissioners? Where's my participant list? Oh, there it is. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Jenny. Jenny, you have to unmute yourself.
It wouldn't let me unmute.
Oh, well, and that's probably my fault again.
No, I don't. It was my keyboard being broken. I just want to say I have a couple of pictures. If you wanted to see them, I could share my screen.
Let's take a look.
Can you see them?
Yep.
So this is the back area where there's a very small amount that was in the buffer zone. And right. And this, that popped out part at the end of the patio area, they were going to remove that and make that just open. And then, let's see. On the other side, what we're looking at now. So this is the driveway.
Yep.
This is the very big driveway. And I think right around where the red car is where they were going to restore that to permeable area. Yep. And then over on this side is where the new driveway would be. Just if you wanted to. And I didn't get any pictures of across the street. And the other thing that is about this drawing that confused me a little bit is that the scale, it looks like it's closer to the water than it is because the scale is actually 1 inch is 20 feet on these drawings. So, and that's it.
Thank you, Jenny. I believe Rich Birch had his hand up before, but then he took it back.
I did just a quick question. The engineer, Dan, had listed off the amount of impervious that they were taking out and restoring to lawn area and the amount of the new driveway. Were those figures on the plan? Just because I don't think we see the whole plan and on the screen.
No, when I had met with Sophia on the site, she had suggested that I bring those square footages with me. And then just late this afternoon, she asked me to put them on the plan, but I had already left the office. So If you need them on the plan, they can certainly be added, but I was hoping that my verbal testimony would suffice, but whatever the commission's pleasure is.
I would be fine with making a decision this evening, if you update the plan and just send in a revised copy so we have it on the file.
Sure, not a problem. I can add that to the plan. And then I just wanted to quickly address Jenny's issue. Thank you for those photos. It is true that there's an enclosure under the deck out in the back that is going to be removed. But I did not mention that was being done because underneath that enclosure is the remainder of the concrete slab that's already there. So there is no digging, no excavation, no filling, nothing. We're just exposing the existing concrete slab under the deck.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from commissioners? Any comments or questions from members of the public? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve with the condition that the calculations for impervious surfaces be added to the plan before the commission signs it.
So moved.
Second, Mike?
Roll call, Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
aye for myself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too, take care. Brian, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended. In the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a public hearing on a request for determination of applicability by Todd Cole and Ashley Braun for proposed removable dock within the buffer zone of a resource area on Lake Shirley Reservoir Road at 607 Reservoir Road. Is there someone here representing the applicant?
Yes, this is Todd Cole and Ashley Braun is here also.
All right. Todd, would you like, do you have the ability to share your screen? Would you like us to do
Yes.
that for you, or?
I'm happy to share some pictures first.
All right. Pictures are good, plans are better.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's move this. Okay. There we go. Can you see my screen okay?
Sure can.
All right. So I'll just start requesting to place a flowy roll-in removable aluminum dock into Lake Shirley from my beach. Asking for approval to place it perpendicular to my property line. Just some details on the dock itself. It's 4 sections. 3 of the sections are 12 feet long. 1 is 16 feet long. So once connected, it's 52 feet in total length by 4 feet wide. And we use our dock for our boat, kayaks, paddleboard, and allows access for us to Lake Shirley. So just some pictures. So here I just wanted to kind of show our house and our property, just to give you a rough idea. So the top arrow is our property, the blue house. You can kind of see I outlined the rough lines of the property there.
Yeah.
As you come down to the water, you'll see that I have 26 feet of frontage. And then this is a picture of the existing dock that has been in place for about 4 years. After talking to Sophia, we thought we were kind of grandfathered in, but after discussions with her, we thought it was best to come to the board and get official approval to put the dock in place. That's why we are here today. Just a couple other pictures of the dock in place in prior years. The picture on the left, also you can see my other neighbor's boat, just to kind of see where they park and how tight kind of the area is. Picture on the right, just kind of a different angle of the dock in place. And lastly, kind of the current situation. My neighbor to the right has purchased a brand new dock this spring and has put it in place as shown on the right. I put just kind of 2 markers roughly of the property line in red that you can see. I also highlighted a little square on the left where my other neighbor will have their boat and their dock is in place. So again, I've not been able to, I'd like permission to put in the dock, and I also need permission to have access because currently with the position of my neighbor's dock to the right, I have no access to place my dock in the water anymore. So that's why I'm here today. Sophia has been to the site and taken some pictures and can comment if you have any questions for her as well. But I appreciate the boards. If there's any questions, let me know.
I have a couple questions.
Yep.
Before I open it up to the rest of the board, how long is the existing dock that you're replacing?
We're not replacing a dock. So really it's our dock. We didn't realize we've always had a dock on the property. So we always just assumed, which is the wrong thing, right? We just assumed that we always were allowed to have a dock. And we didn't really know what the rules were. We thought if it was a permanent dock, you had to go get an NOI, which we know to be true. But we didn't know the rules around the removable docks. When we pulled our dock this year, our neighbor put in a dock very close to where we put ours, but angled it in front of our right of way. So we can't get our dock in there anymore. And that's when we started asking questions. So we went down to Sophia so we could try to do the right thing. And work with the commission so that we can get and maintain meaningful access to the lake so that we can continue to, have a boat docked at our property and go out and enjoy Lake Shirley.
And the other question I have is you in the picture I'm looking at now, it says new dock. Are you saying that there was not a dock there before?
Correct. That is a new dock this spring that our neighbor has put in place.
Okay, I don't recall a RDA or anything else for a dock from that property. Any comments or questions from members of the commission? Mike LaRouche.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I was just curious to see, is there a minimum requirement on the width in between such docks, for example, from neighbors? I realize the dock's going to be 4 feet wide and it's going to extend wherever the applicant says they want to extend their dock, but it looks, is there a minimum requirement of docks?
Are you asking me, Mike?
I'm asking whoever knows that answer. I don't.
And so, first of all, I would say that Sophia checked with the DEP. We regulate, where it touches the land. We don't regulate where it goes out into the water. This has all the makings of a civil dispute between neighbors. We can give, Todd and Ashley, permission to put in a dock. It could be, we could tell the neighbor that they didn't ask for permission for a dock, so they need to take it out, but that's up, but, I don't know if I answered your question or not.
You really didn't. However, I understand more about the dock system, one being applied for to install versus the other one sounds like it may not have been. And my next question is that, and this might be more of the dispute part of docks, would the neighbor be amenable to moving their dock so the dock that has been applied for can put their dock in if we were to approve it this evening?
My comment on that, Mike, would be that it's my belief that it's not the commission's role to try to mediate this this dispute. It's our role to either approve the dock or not approve the dock. And it may be our role to talk with the neighbor if they haven't got permission for that dock, to talk with them about it and do an enforcement action. But I don't know that for a fact yet. It's just based on the information I've heard so far.
Mr. Vice Chair, can I just add one more thing?
Sure.
If you look at this picture here, the neighbor currently has a dock, if you can see where the cursor is. So they were looking to put a second dock angled over here, as you can see in this photo. For what it's worth.
Thank you, Ashley. Any other comments or questions from members of the commission?
I'm on mic. I don't have my hand up. I don't know how to raise that. Can you hear me?
First of all, you raise your hand by going to the reactions panel at the bottom and pushing raise hand. Let's start with your name and address.
Sure. Okay, but I don't see any place that says raise hand, but I am Mike Gormley, 611 Reservoir Road. I also own the property at 609 Reservoir Road. I'll just read you my comments and then we can have discussion from there, I guess. So I did view the submitted proposal, and on the proposal, there were no dimensions for the dock, only a line indicating where his intended location was. My questions concern the dimensions of the proposed dock with regard to overall length and width across the deep end. Todd has said it's 52 feet. So I guess that addresses that. Yeah, the dock is 4 feet in length, and I have pictures as well that will go along and show property lines as he's drawn them in are inaccurate. Okay, so this dock has been 52 feet. It's over 20 feet in width when on one side they locate a jet ski drive-on dock, and on the other side they locate an 8.5 foot beam boat on the other side of the dock, which he positions across in front of my property on 609. This dock used to be on the northern boundary line next to Nate's property. Okay, they have 26 feet of waterfront parcel. This positions their boat in front of their property when the dock was, and you will see in past pictures, that dock was on that property line. Since completion of my retaining wall, which was all permitted and completed in the last 3 years, they've located the dock on the southern boundary line adjacent to my property at 609 Reservoir Road and angled the dock not perpendicular, but 120 degrees across in front of my property, 609, blocking access and views of the lake of my property. I'm not sure how the dock, if configured as in the past, can possibly fit on the parcel with 26 feet of waterfront. With converging boundary lines, which you will see when I show you the GIS maps, that come to a loci point some 50 feet from the shore and not affect neighboring property owners' riparian rights. At 30 feet from shore, water depth is 5 feet, more than enough to dock a boat. If I can figure out how to share pictures, I'm happy to do that. So I just hit share screen, is that correct?
Yep.
So I will do that now.
Mr. Gormley, did you get a permit for that dock that they showed in that picture?
I had an existing dock, and I've never known anybody on Lake Shirley to ever have to pull a permit to get a dock. So the answer to that question specifically is no, I did not, but I'm happy to go ahead and do that if everybody on the lake is going to be required to pull permits for their docks.
I can tell you, Mr. Gormley, that every year we issue at least a dozen permits for docks on Lake Shirley.
Okay, well, I've had an existing dock that you will see in the pictures. And if I need to, submit to put a dock in on my property, I'm if that is what is required, I'm capable of doing that. So as you can see,
You're not sharing your screen yet, Mr. Gormley.
okay, well, I hit that. So maybe Sophia could pull it up, because if this was going to be the case, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I did email all of my pictures.
You go to the bottom and hit share screen. Click on share screen.
Okay, share screen, hit that.
At the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it should pop up on your screen, what screen do you want, what window do you want to share? And you click on the window you want to share.
Well, I have it up in a tab on my desktop, so I don't see that coming up in this.
All right, Sophia, do you have these pictures that he's speaking of?
I emailed them
yeah.
to her yesterday
I have a
afternoon.
few. I have a few pictures
All right,
saved
well,
too.
then we'll bear with us and we'll see if Sophia can.
They're, I have to say they're very similar to the pictures that are already
Well, not
shown.
completely, not completely. I'd like to make sure we can pull them up so I can state my concerns here. I'm trying to get back to, okay.
Oh, it looks like you started screen sharing. That's not me.
Yep.
Somebody did.
Yeah, that's Mike's screen. And you're sharing the wrong screen.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get back to screen one. All right, so if I pull that up, are you seeing anything now?
Yep.
Is that the parcels, the GIS maps?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so parcel 61, I'm sorry, parcel 23 is 609 Reservoir Road. I had my property surveyed last spring. Ross Associates did all the surveying of it. It's all pinned at all corners, marked and staked. One of the pictures that Todd showed, where he shows his boat dock in front of his property, is inaccurate because the way the line comes down, it's not following the property line. I'll use my cursor to show you. So this line that is here comes to this point and comes straight down to the waterfront. My dock is here on my side of my property. In the past, the dock that's being asked to get a permit has started at that property line and has come across here. Okay, so you'll see that in future pictures. Let me just scroll through some more. So this, prior to my getting the retaining wall built, this was my boat dock. All right, it was on I-beams going out to the water canopy. This is a boat that I had about 4 years ago. This is the dock in the past at Todd's. It's a chair on the dock. This is where they used to dock their boat. I would say this dock was probably 30 feet into the water. This positioned their boat in front of their property area, their 26 feet of waterfront. You can see my boat was able to go in and out of the dock that I had. After getting the retaining wall built, you can see the exact same location and photograph where my boat was here, but now you see what has happened, because now this dock is now located at the edge on the southern boundary on 609, right adjacent to 609, boat being docked on this side of it. And as a result, you get this picture here. Now, Todd drew in lines that came down and then came straight down to the arborvitaes, and that is not the case. The property line is actually angled, okay? And all done by Ross Associates Survey by Dan Wolf. And I have all that paperwork, and it's all been, certified. So the dock that I have put in follows the property line to 30 feet. The boat that will be on that property goes to 609. These are two parcels. Yes, this is my house. This is 611. This is my dock at my house, parcel 611. I pay hefty taxes on two parcels of land, of which I am not able to use or access any of the waterfront when this dock is in this position with the boat with an 8.5-foot beam docked on this side, 52 feet out into the water, when you only need to go 30 feet to get 5 feet of draft. Over here is the floating jet ski launch that they put on here. Now, as you look at other pictures, you can see again, here was my existing dock with my properties. This dock came in prior to the fall that this was taken down and the whole new retaining wall was all built. Here, the boat is not in the water or it's out to sea, but you see the jet ski is docked here. You dock a boat here and you can just see what it's done to the right to me being able to access what I had for a dock at that time. And when you take a look from the waterfront, you can now see how nicely all 26 feet of their beach area is nice and wide open with a jet ski and a dock and a boat at about 120 degrees, not following the property line like my dock is following. So that's why we're here.
Thank you, Mr. Gormley.
Okay.
Any comments or questions from members of the commission? Rich Birsch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. 2 points. One, the properties, their property lines end as drawn on the assessor's map. Their properties don't extend out into the lake. And the owner of the lake is the town of Lunenburg. So technically they're placing these docks on somebody else's property. It's not on their property as their line virtually extends out into the lake. So I would try to ask if they could work together to put these docks so that they were perpendicular to the water's edge, so that they can both use the small areas that are there and then perhaps come back to us. Or I would recommend they take their dispute to the Board of Selectmen, as they would be the ones that would arbitrate the use of the lake bed to place their docks. Thank you.
I'm talking,
Mr. Gormley, you don't have the floor until I call on you.
Okay.
Thank you, Richard. I concur with your comments, Richard. Any other comments or questions from members of the commission? Any other comments from anybody else, members of the public? I mean, we could take and approve tonight the request to put in this dock by Todd and Ashley. Because clearly it falls within the bounds of what we typically do on Lake Shirley. I don't know that you know, we could talk with our agent, with our administrator about issuing an enforcement order on Mr. Gormley for his dock. Or we could take and if the two parties here, the sets of neighbors are willing to talk and come back. But that's not really our role. Our role is to approve the dock where it touches the land, and that's our role here tonight. Do you have any final words, Todd and Ashley?
Yeah, I guess my only comment I'll make is 4 years ago, I did ask Mike if I could place my boat and my dock on that side, and he said it was perfectly fine. That's the reason the boat was parked. I have no problem parking the boat on the other side. It was never an issue. So I just unfortunate we're in this situation. If he would move his dock probably 3 or 4 feet over, I would have perfect access to place my dock in. That's really what we're talking about here. So it's unfortunate that he's not willing to do that. And that's where we're at. But I would hope that the board would give us approval as we followed all the proper steps. We wanted to do that. We worked with Sophia to be able to place our dock into the water, because currently we can't.
Thank you,
Oh,
Todd
thank you.
Ashley. Mike, do you have any final comments?
Mr. Chair, I think that's a
Yes,
wonderful.
I do. I'm unmuted.
Oh, sorry.
Final comments. Todd and I have been friends since he moved in here. I've issued twice opportunities to Todd to come by and to talk about it. And there has been no communication at all or attempt to come in to talk to me about the dock. And again, I'm happy to talk to him about it. The positioning of my dock, as I stated, follows the property lines. Do I have a means to move it somewhat? I do, but I don't want to see 52 feet of dock passing by mine and his boat once again being put on that side on blocking my dock once again. And I'm happy to talk. I want to be friends with my neighbors. I would like to be friendly again with Todd and Ashley, and I understand what their concerns are, but there's a lot of docking there that for the last 3 years, and I will go back, and when Todd asked me if it was okay if he parked the boat there, I don't recall the conversation going that way because I actually lost a tenant of a result of them locating the dock in that particular area. So again, things are said, I'm willing to talk, but I've had a dock there for years and I intend to keep a dock. So if I'm told I need to apply for a permit, I can certainly do that.
Thank you. I'm looking, this is an RDA. I'm looking for a motion for a negative determination for the placement of this, for this RDA to place the stock. Unless somebody has a different idea.
Could we put some stipulations on it, Bob? Maybe?
Like-
We never have in the past, but
I'm wide open to suggestions. I just caution you that it's not our role to adjudicate this, to try to mediate this dispute.
yeah. I mean, I just think Rich had a good point, perpendicular with the shoreline seems to be fair, but that's kind of normally how you put a dock in the water, but
Yeah,
I can kind of
perpendicular to the
understand.
shoreline is normal. It is the way it's normally done. I do agree with that.
Okay,
And-
so yeah, I'm fine as long as it's perpendicular to the shoreline, sure.
So Jeff, are you making a motion that we approve this dock with the condition that it's perpendicular to the shoreline?
I'll make that a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second, Mike?
Okay. Isn't there any further discussion?
I'll have a comment. My dock is perpendicular to the shore. And again, where is their placement going to be? And if it's perpendicular to the shore, it should run parallel to my dock.
Thank you, Mr. Gormley. I wasn't asking you for your advice, for your thing. At this time, we're voting. Roll call vote. Jenny,
Hi.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
and I for myself. Thank you very much. I hope you guys can work this out. And Mr. Gormley, you may be hearing from the commission with the need to apply to put your dock in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stop screen sharing. Yeah, okay. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended. The Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a public hearing on a request for determination of applicability by Dave Petrellis for the removal of dead trees and the addition of an open deck within the buffer zone at 189 Hemlock Drive. Continued from April 3rd to May 1st. So this is not really on tonight's agenda. So on to our next hearing. We did not open that hearing because it's on there. It's continued to May 1st, not till tonight. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended, the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaw. A public hearing on an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation by Kevin O'Brien at 390 Howard Street, DEP 208-1304. This is continued to April 17th, but I'm betting there's no one here from that, and we're going to continue. Going once, going twice. I'm looking for a motion to continue until May 1st.
So moved.
Second, Mike?
All right, roll call. Jenny.
I don't think I can vote to continue this one.
Oh, you're right. That's, you got me there. Rich.
Aye.
Jeff.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
And I for myself. Jenny, I'm glad you're paying better attention than I am. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Section 131, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended. Town of Lunenburg Wetland Protection and Municipal Bylaw, a public hearing on a notice of intent by Stephen McSqueeny for the construction of a single-family home and associated site work at 255 Sunny Hill Road, DEP 208-1320. I'm looking for a motion to continue until May 1st.
So moved, Richard.
Second, Jeff.
Second.
Second, we're gonna give that one to Jeff, Mike.
Sounds good.
Beat you.
All right. Roll call, Jenny.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Jeff.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Aye for myself. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended, and the Town of Lunenburg Wetland Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a public hearing for a request for an amendment to the Order of Conditions, DEP number 208-1310, by Matt Matrano for new site improvements of a staircase, reconstructed porch with expanded footprint, reconstructed concrete walkway, and masonry walkway within the buffer zone of a wetland on Lake Shirley at 386 Sunset Lane. Is there someone here for, Brian Proctor?
Chair Ryan Proctor with Dillis and Roy, representing Matt Matrano.
Okay, take it away. Can you share your screen, Ryan?
I'd be happy to. Would you just
love that. Go for it.
Would you just enable participation or
Oh,
allow
yeah,
me to?
you're right. I just shut that down to shut out the other person. So let's see. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. All right, thank you, members of the commission, for your time tonight. Greg Roy presented at the opening hearing. He is on vacation this week, so I am here in his place. The project, just as a quick reminder, is at 386 Sunset Lane. I'm representing Matt Matrano, the new owner of the property. We were here before your commission 2 weeks ago seeking some landscape improvements within the house. They are currently working on some interior improvements to the house as well. And at the end of last week, I submitted a revised site plan and a cover letter with a couple comments, per a couple comments that we'd received at the opening public hearing. The first comment was relative to the replacement of an existing concrete walkway. So we were just asked to provide a little more detail on that, the materials, what they'd be, and some approximate square footages. So I've added a note here. The existing concrete walkway is approximately 210 square feet. We do intend to replace that with pervious pavers. I added a note that it's not to exceed 250 square feet. The increase is just to provide some roundings. Currently, it's just two basically straight perpendicular lines of concrete. We're just trying to add a little bit of aesthetic within the buffer and between the lake and the house. So we're rounding off a little bit as we reach the existing concrete pads. Same thing in the front, centering it on this entry, and then same thing with the entry underneath the house. The pavers that Mr. Matrano is going to be used are going to be Technoblock. So there's going to be pea stone installed in between all of the blocks to ensure that they are permeable, and those are installed on a bed of stone as well to encourage infiltration and recharge beneath the pavers. The second item that was brought up, that I commented on in my letter, is that we formally are requesting the removal of the 12-inch maple that's within the 30-foot no-touch zone. Per your regulations, we require a 2-to-1 replacement in kind. So I've shown 2 Acer rubrum red maple trees, both within the 30-foot. I have both of them shown here, and the reason I cited them there is, in addition to this tree, we had also requested permission to remove an oak tree, which is outside of the 30, but we thought we'd kind of centrally locate these trees in between those trees there, while staying within the 30. I spoke with the owner today relative to the spiral staircase. We had gone back and forth on whether we were able to relocate it to the south side of the existing deck. So on this plan, it shows it on the front. The owner is going to try to install it on the south side. So I understand you'll probably need an updated plan documenting that, but we do intend to install this on the south side rather than here, just to provide some additional separation between the deck and the buff and Lake Shirley. The last item I'd like to say quickly, I met with the owner today. This was not brought up at the original meeting, but there is an existing, underneath the deck, an existing concrete pad. I'll just draw the outline real quick. Stands there. He wishes to replace within the same footprint this concrete pad, which is under the deck, with the same pervious pavers that we're proposing for the walkway. So we're not proposing an expanded footprint that'll remain in there, but we're replacing the concrete with the same pervious pavers that we're proposing on the site.
And
Those
is
are the
that
only
in writing
changes.
somewhere?
Any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Ryan, is that in writing somewhere?
That is not, that is a verbal tonight for the first time.
And, okay, so we got 2 verbals. So one about the staircase and one about you're gonna replace some concrete with permeable. So we're gonna do some impermeable and turn it over to permeable.
That's accurate, yes.
Okay. Any questions or comments from members of the commission? This is an RDA.
Amended order of conditions.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, amended. Oh, I said, you're right. It's an amended order of conditions. Thank you for straightening me out. Any comments from members of the, oh, Rich Birch. Go ahead, Rich.
Do we have a schematic of the blocks being put in?
I do have the package here. I can share the screen if you'd like, Rich. They're going to be Techno block, and I do have the spec sheet right next to me.
All right, and is it an 80-20 breakdown of permeable to impervious?
The range of solid is about 10%, 5 to 10% impervious. I think there's 3/8 to a ½ inch between each block for the keystone.
So myself, if it's not an 80-20, whatever you're getting in impervious surface, you can add to the existing square footage, but it looks like you're trying to add about 20% more impervious area or total walkway area. And if only 10% of it is pervious, you're adding impervious surface into the 30-foot no-touch zone.
Okay, yeah, I understand that point. I think in terms of percentage, if you were to take out a piece of the center of that, the percentage of pervious is higher, impervious is still high. But we're giving that a spot to go with the spacing.
Can you share that, that spec sheet?
Yep. Bear with me one moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I'm just speaking for myself, but I would only be in favor of impervious surface for impervious surface. So if you had 210 square feet impervious and you can add the pavers going in, 5% of that is pervious, then you can add an extra 10 square feet of the pervious pavers.
So these are the blocks, these are the Techno blocks. And the owner is still deciding on the exact blocks, but like I said, the range is between 5 and I guess 8.3% on the higher end.
Okay. So again, that I speak for myself, but I wouldn't be in favor, especially in a 30-foot no touch, to be
Okay.
adding impervious surface.
Ryan, do you think the owner would be amenable? I thought, speaking for myself, that the application was a little aggressive in the amount of added sidewalk area. Going from what was it, 200 to 230 or something like that? Or
Yeah,
it's
210 to 250.
210 to 250. I
It's
thought
about,
that was
40 square feet. And not all of that's within the 30, but about 40 square feet.
it's all within the 50.
True. Yep.
And my only other comment, Mr. Chair, even though it's being shared here tonight, we do need hard copies of this for the file.
And we need hard copies of this, and I
The
think there
updated
should
plan
be
and placement.
a plan showing the the removal of the impervious under the deck, and the placement of the stairwell. I'm gonna do a quick straw poll. If people think are ready to vote on this with conditions, or if they want to see a revised plan. Jenny, how do you feel about that? Are you ready, Jen? The question is, are you ready to vote on this tonight with 3 conditions? The conditions would be that they have to supply the specs of the sidewalk, of the pavers, that they have, or actually maybe 4 conditions, that they have to take in, specify they're gonna remove the impervious under the deck, that they're gonna try and move the spiral staircase, and I'm thinking that we're gonna tell them they can't do the full amount of increased pavement that they requested.
I'd be ready to vote with conditions.
Okay, that's Jenny. Rich?
Given the amount of change that needs to be done and added to the plan, I would not be ready to vote on this evening.
Thank you, Rich. Jeff?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to vote it as well.
I can see where this is going. Mike?
Yes, I concur. There's a lot of changes here. And it also, are we asking the applicant to consider a different permeable block that hasn't been decided yet? So I too, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I'm thinking that, don't feel comfortable deciding on something that that Dillis and Roy still has to speak to the applicant regarding the amount of impervious block, and they have some choices here to make. And I can't see them voting on this tonight without having that conversation with the applicant.
So Ryan, I'm gonna be looking for a motion to continue, and I think you've heard the 4 issues. Do you have any questions, Ryan?
Nope, I apologize that came up at the meeting here. Like I said, I spoke with the owner this morning, and I didn't want to submit everything last minute. So no problem continuing. I loud and clear what you're looking for, so happy to continue.
All right, thank you very much. Looking for a motion to continue to May 1st.
So moved.
So moved.
All
Second.
right, I'm gonna give that to Rich. He was first, so then I'm gonna give the second to Jeff. And roll call. Jenny?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
I for myself. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended, the Title Owner of Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaw, public hearing on a notice of intent by Steve Powell for the construction of a single-family and associated site work at 171 Arbor Street. Someone here for that?
Yeah, so Bob, Brian Marchetti here.
Hey, Brian.
This is the same project that we've been working with the neighbors, and we are in the process of filing with ZBA. So this one, we're definitely going to continue again. And I would likely push it off for, I guess, till the last meeting in May.
All right, so that would be May 15th, I believe. I'm looking for a motion to continue to May 15th.
So moved.
So move.
Okay.
Second.
All right. I'll leave that to somebody else to work out who did what. Roll call, Jenny. Oh, Jenny, I don't think you can vote on this. Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
and I for myself. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended, the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection Municipal Bylaws, a public hearing on a request for determination of applicability by Jan Willem for laying a naturalized stone steps and crushed stone path within the buffer zone of a wetlands at 141 Hemlock. It was continued to May 15th. So we're not really opening that hearing. It's on here just for everyone's information that that's going on. So that concludes our public hearings. Administrative determinations, none. Extension request permits. Order of conditions extension request 208-1174 Reservoir Road. Sophia, can you take us through that?
Yes, let me pull up some of my notes, which are in Drive, SharePoint Drive. Okay, so for this one, it's a fairly long driveway and it's shared. So when I did the visit, it appeared that the bridge that was supposed to be included with the order, it's a crossing within a stream. There's also a wetland replication area that's included within the conditions. And most of the work appears to be done. However, there's still that wetland replication area incomplete. And the sides of the driveway, one of the other conditions was that there needs to be crushed stone when the grade is steeper than a certain percentage. Can't remember exactly what percentage, but it appears that that was done in accordance to plan. And then today I reached out to the applicant and they confirmed that the silt fencing and the straw wattles, they're 12-inch diameter, are installed correctly. First time I went out, they weren't installed within the wetland replication area near the stream. So that is my verbal, those are my verbal notes on that site visit.
So I take it you're recommending that we extend this order of conditions? How long are they asking to extend it for?
That's a good question.
Their letter
Yes, I am
says that they're looking
recommending.
for a COC in the fall.
Yeah, it should be just a year, 1 year extension.
Looking for a motion to extend this order of conditions for 1 year.
So moved.
Second, Mike.
All right, roll call, Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
I for myself. Certificate of compliance, 305 Arbor Street. Do you have a recommendation, Sophia?
305 Arbor Street. So for this one, there was some back and forth trying to find the plans, the original plans, with the engineer, and I believe it was Whitman and Bingham surveying. The plans weren't able to be located, nor in my office, but I have gone out a second time. There is no erosion within the wetland areas. It was too difficult to locate any sort of wetland replication area, so that was discussed. But I don't have any concerns on the site. And I would recommend going forward with the certificate.
Looking for a motion to issue a certificate of completion for 305 Arbor Street, a certificate of compliance for 305 Arbor Street.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
aye.
I for myself. 41 Country Road, do you have a recommendation, Sophia?
So for this one, I'm just waiting on the applicant to reseed. They said that they have removed all the debris that was on their property and on the neighbor's property. So we're gonna coordinate a site visit once they hydroseed the property and see if,
Super.
it could be established.
Super, we're gonna move on to 39 Island Road. Do you have a recommendation on that one?
For this one, the erosion controls were removed, I would say prematurely. There's sediment running off what it appears to be the lawn, or should be the lawn area. There's no grass. I didn't see any seeding, but the runoff is going into the buffer zone of the resource area. I believe it's a lake, so I wouldn't recommend a certificate for this one.
Thank you so much. 200 Bird Street, what, do you have a recommendation for that?
200 Birch. So this one seemed to be in total compliance. I don't have a single worry about that one.
I'm looking for a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 200 Bird Street unless there's any discussion first.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
aye.
I for myself. Do you have anything, any updates in any of the violations or enforcement actions? Sophia,
I haven't heard back from a lot of a couple of them.
well, let's take
My
one out.
only-
141.
My only
Hemlock.
update is 141 Hemlock. We're still going back and forth about scheduling a site walk between
Okay, how
myself
about-
and the commission.
And 10 Mass Ave.
I haven't heard anything from them. They are supposed to reach out to me to work with me to file, but they have not yet. They were given 30 days, I believe, to get that done.
Are they still under a stop work order?
Yes, yes, stop work until they file with us.
Perfect. 205 Sunset. I think that's a continuing thing, right?
It is, and I was asked to go visit that today, and I had trouble finding it. So I tried to locate it, and I went back to the office, and I didn't have enough time to completely follow through on it.
Okay. Yeah, these were the people, we gave them till a certain amount of time to take the deck out, and they questioned our authority to give them a deadline. And so we're watching them because we want to make sure that they comply with our deadline. 1168 Mass Ave rear, anything new on that?
No.
Okay, 12 Fire Road hearing.
No, I don't have anything on that.
Bob, I kind of lost you there a little bit, but 205 Sunset, I believe the deadline was March 15th.
March 15th. Thank you so much, Jeff. So Sophia, if they haven't taken it out, we're gonna, I would expect that at the next meeting, we'd be issuing fines.
So to be clear, it's not constructing, it's removal that the
It's,
commission is looking for.
this is a long story, Sophia. They took and we gave them permission to put in a set of stairs down to the lake, and you know, a landing for a dock. What they put in was bigger than what was allowed. And their landing for the dock actually extended out over the lake and into the lake, so that they had actually feet in the water of their dock landing. And this came to our attention when everybody, the other little lots along that stretch of road, looked over and said, oh, we want what they want. And so then we went back and looked to see what they built, and we said, oh, well, that's not what we permitted. So we told them they had to take it out, and we went back and forth with them for quite a while. And finally, you know, we issued a decision, you know, that they had to take and, you know, remove some stuff. And we said they had to be done by March 15th. And they said, well, wait a minute, we have 3 years. We said, no, you don't. And there you have it. So.
I see.
So, I can show it to you, probably, near map would, I could circle it for you on near map and show you where it is, so.
Yeah, I think I finally located it after
Okay.
going through a few different maps and doing some circles.
12 Fire Road, I forgot, I mean, here we took and we issued them, an order, to remove the pavement, and they never did. The town attorney was already involved, and and then, you know, when the selectmen saw it during their site visit, they got all worked up about it, so, I'm not sure exactly where we are. I'll have to take that up with that when I meet with Adam Costa the next time. Unless you know something more about it than I remember, Sophia.
I went out to that site with Mary and we discussed what was done in the past, and she got my opinion on it.
And what's
I
your opinion?
recommended enforcement, but from what it sounded like, I thought somebody already issued an enforcement,
We did.
but I could be wrong. Okay.
We did
So,
issue enforcement.
okay, so yeah, I don't have any
And,
steps ahead
oh,
of you.
and we made them apply, and so here's the thing. We made them apply, and they have an order of conditions. They're not meeting the order of conditions, so we can issue them a non-compliance. They're not complying with the order of conditions, because they said they were gonna take it out. And so we should be issuing a you know, a whatever you call those, notice of non-compliance.
Yes, I've seen some in the drive. They're really just a non-compliance letter addressed to them. Are there any fees involved with that?
There's no fees, but
Or fines?
but what we should take and tell them, you know, if they don't show up, we should send it in my opinion, as one member. And we should ask our agent, our administrator, to send them a letter, telling them they have to appear at our May 15th meeting, at our May 1st meeting, and we might start issuing them daily fines. Does anybody have a different idea or think I'm on the wrong track? I'm gonna take silence as total support. Cause I wanna move the meeting along.
I'm in support, Bob. I'll back you.
Thank you, Jeff. 950 Chase Road. So I'm looking for a motion, to ask, to direct our conservation administrator to issue 12 Fire Road a notice that they are in violation of their order of conditions and that they are to appear at our May 1st meeting, and they may be subject to daily fines.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion by Rich, second by Jenny. We have to get Jenny involved here. So,
Absolutely.
roll call, Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
I for myself. 950 Chase Road, what's that all about, Jenny? I mean, Sophia, I've forgotten.
I haven't
believe that's
touched
the
on it in
barn.
a while.
Oh, that's
Over
the
On the
barn.
property line.
Oh,
that
that's
they
the
won't
barn on the
move.
property line, and our chair was looking at aerial photographs, and it looks like that's an encroachment issue. But it's also an enforcement issue. It looks like that they've taken and cut down a whole bunch of trees in a wetland and another part of the parcel. The problem we have is how do we get out there and take a look at it? Mary and I were talking about, do we know anybody with a drone, who could take and go out and fly?
I got
over?
one, Bob.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. See?
Oh, so Bob, we won't be going out in a kayak
No, we won't be going out
or
in a kayak.
mountain bikes?
Well, it's to get there from within the large town forest. You say, why aren't we getting there from within the large town forest? Well, first of all, you got to ride your mountain bike out or hike to the nether end, starting either from Seaver Road or from Gilcrest or Holman Street, about 2 miles, and then you come to a swamp that's all filled with vegetation, like what's that, button bush or something, and so that you can't get through. And then you get to where this possible violation is. So Jeff, if you could fly your drone over there sometime, that would be marvelous. You and I should talk offline sometime.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know.
Thank you. Jeff. Write that down. Emergency certification. All right, we have anybody have any topics not known 48 hours in advance? Update on title searches. I'm gonna make an appointment to see, I don't really have any updates, new ones, except when I meet with Adam Costa this month, I'd love to have authorization to have him, if we take him, we look, let me share my screen. Let's see. First of all, let me get a screen to share. We'll go to where am I? CAIGIS. And then we'll go to Page Street. Sorry, I should have been prepared for this. First of all, let's share this screen. No, I want to get rid of that. So, you know, we own this parcel here, 6. Can people see this? We own parcel 6, we own parcel 5. And we're looking to try and obtain rights through this little teeny piece of parcel right here. No, this thing to get there. But we also own the Fairbanks gift here. And I'd like to be able to take and ask, you know, which is totally landlocked, piece of land behind Connie Allison's farm here. I'd love to be able to ask the town attorney to see if the Fairbanks gift comes with any access rights as a rear lot. Are people willing to let me ask the town attorney if he can look into that?
So moved.
We have a motion by Rich.
Second by Mike.
All right, roll call. Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
and I for myself. Thank you very much. The town attorney resent the letter to 315 Lancaster Road on encroachment, and I don't know what happened. And 950 Chase Road shed removal. Hopeful, it's my position that we should probably pay for the removal of the shed, given the reluctance of the courts and the attorney to try to get these people to pay for it. But I want to wait until after they've logged over the Reno property. We got another 25 grand in our coffers. I don't have any grant update on any of the grants.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
instead of spending money on removal of that shed, could it be something, a prospect for the fire department to want to just incinerate as a exercise? Or is it?
I can ask. That's
Okay.
a great, that's a great idea, Mike. Someone I think might have mentioned it before. It might have even been you.
It may have been me.
So let me I'll ask.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I don't have anything on the grants. Does anybody have anything on grants updates, conservation land improvements? The Hollis Road residents. Open space, stormwater.
Mr. Chair,
Michael,
I do have something on the Hollis Road property.
okay,
It was brought to my attention that the community pollinator habitat sign at the entrance of the Lunenburg conservation land going to the pollinator habitat over the winter has fallen down. It looks like the 6 by 8 foot posts, which there are 2 of them that holds this sign, have rotted at the ground level. So it's now being held up by a tree on a bungee cord, and I have some feelers out to a volunteer who's volunteered in the past to see if we could reinsert that sign back into the ground, and I have not heard as of yet. I'm hoping they're going to be able to help us. Is there another resource I could perhaps tap into for something like this? I do not own a post hole digger that would probably be required. As the sign is large enough, we could probably, once the holes were dug, slip the sign back into the ground. I'm not a sign expert. However, it looks like it could be easily done with the right tools, and you need at least 2 people, one to hold the sign because it's pretty big. If you remember the sign.
But Mike, are we talking about putting in the same post that rotted off back in the ground?
Well, the post that's in the ground, we're not worried about. The rest of it is fine. And, you know, it may be a couple of feet lower than it was before, but I think it would be okay. But once again, I'm not a sign expert. So I'm waiting for that volunteer to tell me if they're going to do something about it and what it is they're going to do about it.
If you run into a roadblock, a dead end, I would suggest the first person you ask is Chris Ruth.
Okay.
And if he is of no help, then you come back to the commission at our next meeting.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Anything else on, as Mary's our representative at the open space, anything from stormwater, Jenny?
Nothing to report from Stormwater. We have a meeting tomorrow.
Okay. Any communications or public comment at the end here? Wow, 8:38. I'm loving this. Oh, Richard Bursch.
Yeah, Bob, I just had a quick comment. As we allow applicants to share screens and share information, we do need to make sure that what they are sharing is part of their application packet.
Yeah.
I don't know if that PowerPoint that 609 or 601 Reservoir Road was sharing is part of their packet and public records in their folder.
And
The
that's
pictures.
a good, that's an excellent point.
Yeah, 607 Reservoir. Yeah, I just went back and
Six-
looked for it and I couldn't find it. Yeah.
Yeah, 607. So we do need to just make sure if we're allowing applicants to share information that we do have a hard copy of it.
Thank you very much. Sophia, before you issue the RDA form to them, can you please ask them to send a copy of the PowerPoint that they used for our records?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you so much, which brings me back to, thank you for bringing that up, because that reminds me, do we want to ask our administrator to do an enforcement order on Mr. Gorman for his dock?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Oh, that's a big can of worms.
All right. Well, but we can tell Mr. Gorman to put his dock perpendicular too. So, but and when we give him permission, roll call. Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, Mike.
Aye.
And I for myself, 4-1. All right, a little controversy of a non-unanimous vote. Anything else? That's an excellent point, Rich. Thank you for making it.
No problem.
All right, then I'm looking for a motion to adjourn at 8:40 PM.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Jenny,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
and I for myself. I'm sure we all wish Mary a speedy recovery from whatever it is she's got.
And I did have one comment for Sophie. If you get a chance to look at the data on 305 Arbor, one of the documents does not belong there. On the SharePoint.
Okay,
I think unless,
I'll definitely take a look.
yeah,
Um,
unless lot 5 is the one we're talking about.
It is quite possible. I
Yeah,
don't
but
doubt
if
you.
you get a chance just to take a quick look.
Sure. I do have a question about the recording. If I
Yeah.
stop recording, does anybody know where that goes?
Oh, it'll probably be in your user file, under documents, under a subdirectory called Zoom. And when you go to shut it off, it's gonna give you a message that says, oh, we have to convert this. I think it converts it from whatever format that it's in to an MP4, and it takes about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so to convert it. And so you gotta wait for it to finish converting it before you shut down the machine.
Okay, so I need to probably keep my laptop on.
At least that's my experience when I do it.
Yeah, that's the same I have.
Okay,
Yeah, so just make sure it doesn't go to sleep.
okay. All right, I'll do my best.
All right, thank you so much, and thank you, everyone, and good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Bob.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Night.
Good night.